Much like the NCAA tournament after the first round, no one has a perfect bracket anymore, and no one has a perfect mock draft, and things were nuts. And I think the fact that this is perceived as a down draft really led to a lot of insanity, where I think that different teams had players all over the board, and it played out that way, where the consensus of the mock draft community was way off, and things got nuts, and things got very interesting. So let's review the first round. Bryce Young won. That was a given. Then it got nuts. So C.J. Stroud at 2, is they're like, hey, screw it, whatever, S2, don't really care. C.J. Stroud, I think, is going to be a stud for the Texans. And then Houston traded up from 12 to 3, and then gave up some extra nice to go get Will Anderson. So they got 2-3. So they got the quarterback of the future as well as a premium edge rusher for D'Amico Ryan. So I kind of like it. I mean, they spent a lot to go get it, but and then Anthony Richardson at 4 to the Colts, where Shane Steichen did some great things with Jalen Hurts last year, and Richardson, he's going to start right away for the Colts. But Richardson and Jonathan Taylor-Thomas and Pittman Jr., that ain't bad, man. That ain't bad. I mean, Richardson put on a show in Indy at the Combine. Now has a chance to do it on every single Sunday, except for when they don't play at home. 5, Witherspoon. I love me some Devin Witherspoon. For me, he was cornerback 1 in this class. And feistiness, Antoine Winfield Sr. type vibes. He goes to Seattle, and they're rebuilding the Legion of Boom, man. So him, Tariq Woolen, as well as Kobe Bryant at corner. Kind of like it, man. 6. So the Cardinals had traded down to 12 to trade up to 6 with the Lions. They fleeced the Lions, by the way. But Paris Johnson Jr., so tackle 1 in this class. Kyler gets a blindside protector once he gets back onto the field. Tyree Wilson at 7 to the Raiders. Oh, by the way, Will Levis fell out of the first round. But Tyree Wilson, betting on traits, betting on him to fill out on that potential. So Tyree Wilson and Max Crosby, baby Jared Allen long term. Woo! Love it, man. 8. So let's get a little nuts. So the Falcons found Tyler Algier in the late rounds last year, ran for 1,000 yards as a rookie. Now they got Bijan Robinson in the mix, and Cordero is there too, plus Drake London and Kyle Pitts. And I mean, our guy, Desmond Ridder, has a lot of weapons at his disposal, so maybe he'll get it done. Then, so the Eagles traded up from 10 to 9. They gave up a future 4th rounder, which, whatever, taking Jalen Carter and stopping his draft day slide, and also, the Eagles at 30 getting Nolan Smith. I kind of like it. So I fully understand why people think that the Eagles won this first round. Also, by the way, the Lions could have had that. The Lions could have had Carter at 6 and then Nolan Smith at 18, but they didn't. But yeah, Jalen Carter goes to the Eagles. The Bears, so they didn't get a lot in the trade down, and they do take Darnell Wright. It is a need. They could have had Jalen Carter. They could have had a top flight corner. They could have had Gonzo in this spot. They could have had Skoronski. They could have had JSN. But I understand it. A little bit boring. Meat potatoes pick. Sure, whatever. Skoronski goes to the Tennessee Titans. Interesting, again, so it's pretty noteworthy that the Titans passed on Will Levis, the Buccaneers passed on Will Levis, the Vikings at 23 passed on Will Levis, so something's going on. Something is certainly going on, but Skoronski is going to replace Taylor Lewan on the blind side of, Tannehill, I guess. And then 12, the Lions took Jamar Gibbs. So I like Gibbs a lot. I don't like him at 12. And you're drafting a running back who's a part-time player. Well, first off, let's talk about the Lions. So the Lions take Jahmyr Gibbs, and then they take Jack Campbell at Iowa. Both guys I like. Both guys I would have liked a lot more in the second round, but they take both of them in the top 18 selections, including Gibbs at 12. I don't get it. So it's completely flying in the face of modern convention, where the downgraded positions are running back as well as off-ball linebacker who doesn't rush the passer, which is Jack Campbell. So I don't know. Will this work out for the Lions? Who knows? But if you're a Lions fan, you got to be really disappointed because you came into the draft with 6 and 18, and then you end up with this. Nah. Lucas Van Ness with the Reese Graham Green Bay Packers. He just looks like a Packer, doesn't he? But they pass up a lot of other potential. Jackson Smith and Jigba would have made a ton of sense here in Green Bay, but Broderick Jones. So the Steelers trade up with the Patriots, and they take Broderick Jones. So it seemed like they were reaching for a tackle. The top three were off the board, with Paris Johnson going to the Cardinals, Darnell going to the Bears, and Skoronski going to the Titans. So it seems a little bit desperate by the Steelers, where, I mean, they could have taken Gonzo. But Will McDonald goes to Jets, another premium lengthy pass rusher going to Rob Salah and company. Emmanuel Forbes, a little bit of a surprise. He goes ahead of Gonzo. He's cornerback 2 off of the board, but the 166-pounder pick-6 machine goes to DC. Gonzo falls to the Patriots 17, huge value. A lot of people had Gonzalez as cornerback 1 in this class. Who knows why he fell? I mean, there's always stuff behind the scenes. It's usually like some random medical stuff, but I have no idea what happened with Gonzalez. Or maybe Gonzo was just overvalued by the draft community and draft analysts relative to the boards of NFL teams. It's also possible. Campbell, we talked about. Kalijah Kancey going to the Bucs. Again, another red flag, literally red flag for the Bucs that they passed on Will Levis here. But Kancey, undersized defensive tackle, going to get after it. Jackson Smith and Jigba. So, I mean, the Seattle had a hell of a draft too. So they get Witherspoon, cornerback 1, wide receiver 1, Jackson Smith and Jigba, and him and Lockett and DK are going to be gross. Quentin Johnston going to go to the Chargers, which great landing spot for him. Probably going to replace 1-for-1 Keenan Allen. Him and Josh Palmer are going to be a nice combo. Also, Mike Williams will be sprinkled in there. Great targets for Justin Herbert. Zay Flowers, explosiveness, downfield receiver for Lamar Jackson. You got OBJ, you got Zay Flowers, you got Rashad Bateman, you got Duvernay, you got the tight ends, and Lamar should be good to go. 23, Addison. I love this pickup, man. Mana Troy. Perfect compliment for Justin friggin' Jefferson. Completely slippery. One of the best route runners in this class, if not the best. Love it. Absolutely love it, man. Deonte Banks goes to the Giants. Much to their chagrin, there was a run on receivers. Kincaid goes to the Buffalo Bills. So I'm going to go run some 2 tight end sets with Dawson Knox. Sure, but they break the seal on tight ends. Mozzie Smith going to shut things down in the middle for the Cowboys. Anton Harrison. They suddenly have a need at tackle. Well, they lost Jawan Taylor, but now Cam Robinson got pegged for PED suspension, so he gone. Miles Murphy, edge rusher, going to pair up Hendrickson on the outside. Brian Bruzzi going to the Saints because their front 7 got hacked apart in free agency. Nolan Smith going to the Eagles. I love it. Then Felix Nduke-Uzuma, the pride of Kansas State, heads over to Missouri and goes to Kansas City. So he's going to help replace Frank Clark on that Kansas City pass rush. Uzuma and the Greek Freak getting an eye, man. So I like it. Basically, there was a lot of things that went weird. Basically, all right, so going from like 12 to 18, 12 to 18 makes you go, huh. Like, a lot of people didn't see Gibbs this high. A lot of people didn't see Campbell this high. A lot of people didn't see Forbes going ahead of Gonzo. A lot of people didn't see McDonald going this high. Broderick Jones, maybe a little bit of a reach. Who really knows? But, I mean, a lot of craziness went on. Also, players still available. Loading and enhance. All right, so Will Levis obviously is on the board. Now, is he still the first quarterback taken tomorrow? Like, does Hendon Hooker go above him? Does Tanner McKee go above him? Like, what is going on with Will Levis? And also, Michael Meyer not happy that he fell out of the first round. Brian Branch, a little bit of a surprise. Our guy Joey Porter Jr. fell out of the first round. Honestly, if the Vikings want to move up for JPJ or Branch, I wouldn't be mad at it at all. Also available, Steve Avila, probably interior offensive lineman 1. Again, 0 interior offensive lineman going in the first round. Keanu Benton, Mingo, people like a lot. Tippmann is there. Tyreek Stevenson, Osiris Torrance, another great guard. Darnell Washington. Again, the run of tight ends. Laporta is there too. Julius Brents, Keon White, BJ Ujulari. JMS is there. Jaden Reed, Jalen Hyatt, Keely Ringo. So, Adebawore, who a lot of people thought might sneak into the first round. Cody Mock. So, there's a ton of talent that is going to go in the second and third round tomorrow on day 2. So, yeah, pretty fired up about that. But, man, it's the most wonderful time of the year. And insanity rules the day because, I mean, who really thought that this is how the first round was going to play out? Not I, said the fly, but it's always fun. It's an inexact science, and it is the largest crapshoot in the world, and I love it, man. But your thoughts are our thoughts. Reviewing the first round of the NFL draft. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo, but till next time, Skol, production value.